How did you get into snooker, and when did you actually know that you could make a living out of it? Was it
at the UK. No, this was actually the first club I ever set foot in. Came down with my dad. He got me a small table for Christmas one year, and then maybe a year or two later he brought me down here and we played on. There used to be a little 6 foot table around there, and we had a game on that. And then the week after I was itching to get on the full sizes, and I was only about 10 when I played on the full size tables the first time, but yeah, just loved it.
And what other sports are you into?
I like my football, not so much at the moment. A bit depressing being a Leeds fan, but I'm used to that. Yeah, don't mind. I just like watching sport on TV, really. I used to play a bit of poker as well.
And obviously Ronnie O'Sullivan, we'll get onto the World Record 147 stuff in a minute, but he's obviously said, he's quite big on Twitter now, but he said about darts players being the next rock stars, and he was calling for like bigger atmospheres and not the sort of etiquette we have now. Would you?
I don't think it'd work. I think people like snooker for a reason. They like it how it is. You know what I mean? There might be some people, you know, who are not tuning in saying, "Oh, maybe if it was more like darts, it'd that." But we've tried it with the shootout, and you know, it is an enjoyable event. But you know, there's some idiots that come and they're not interested in the snooker. And to be honest, when you watch the darts, it's fantastic TV viewing, but if you were there it's more of a night out than going to watch a sporting event, really.
So you want it to be focused more on the quality of sport?
Yeah, I think the etiquette and the quietness and the gentlemanly conduct and everything is a big part of why snooker's popular. You know, in the same way as like golf is. You know, golf's not a thrill a minute, is it? It's a slow burn over the 4 days. It comes down to the last few shots, last few putts or whatever. And that's similar to snooker.
And you touched on gentlemanly conduct and that sort of stuff. Obviously Sean Murphy said about dress codes, relaxing dress codes. How do you feel about obviously relax now? Obviously you probably practice in just like casual clothing.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to find a middle ground between that and current, or do you like?
Yeah, perhaps. I don't mind, because you brought up wearing waistcoats for tournaments and that, so it doesn't feel like unnatural. You know, by the time you get to a pro level, you're just used to wearing them, and yeah, I think they look quite smart, really.
Yeah. And in terms of, it's not just playing, you do quite a lot of portraits, a lot of paintings and stuff. Is that, since the UK, have you been managed to do that with the wedding and the balloon?
No, well, I had a few back orders from even before the UK, and then since it was featured on the BBC, I've had quite a few like orders, you know, for painting. So I'm just trying to get through them all, really.
And when did you get into painting? How did that?
I did it at school up to A level, and that was before I went full time at snooker. Yes, did it to A level, and then never really touched it for years, until a few years ago I did a little painting in my niece just out of interest, and then I did one for a charity auction of Neil Robertson, and loads of people liked it, and that's how I got to doing some for the club down here, and obviously it's a great shop window being in here.
Yeah, and how will people go about buying or asking you to?
Yeah, you just contact me through my website. I have an artwork page on my website, davidgracesnooker.co.uk.